What do we do with the defense stocks now that the election's over and we're looking at a potential Joe Biden White House with either divided Congress or the narrowest possible Democratic majority? For most of the year, the defense contractors were weighed down by the possibility of a blue wave because Wall Street seems to believe Democratic presidents give less money to the Pentagon. But the blue wave didn't happen. And the reality is both parties love defense spending. Democrats in particular like high-tech defense spending, which brings me to L3Harris Technologies, one of the most tech-savvy defense plays out there. Think integrated missions systems, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, space, avionics, electrical warfare, satellites, precision engagement sensors, drones. Even though L3Harris reported a strong quarter at the end of October, the stock sold off because the whole market was rolling over on election jitters. Since then, it's come to really roaring back, surging 11% last week, another 4% today. Still, the stock's down more than $40 from its highs. I think it's got more room to run. This is the kind of stock I'm looking for. Don't take it from me. Let's check in with Bill Brown, the chairman and CEO of L3Harris, get a better sense of where his company's headed and what he's doing, also to help veterans find jobs. Mr. Brown, welcome back to Mad Money.
Hey, thanks for having me again, Jim. Glad to be back.
Bill, I know you're a student of history, and I've listened to all your conference calls, and I think that you might be able to tell our viewers that there really isn't that much difference between Democrats and Republicans in terms of military spending, but the Democrats have favored the kind of defense, let's say, intelligent defense that you guys provide.
No, I think you're exactly right. I think there's a very strong bipartisan view about strong defense, strong national defense. We certainly know that from Vice President Biden. We certainly know that from the anticipated Secretary of Defense, at least the front runner, Michelle Flournoy, very focused on a strong national defense, a pivot towards technology, things like you mentioned in your opening, artificial intelligence, communications, resilient systems, ISR, space. All of those things are important and essential in the near-peer threat that we have in the future. And they've stood tall to strong defense, and we expect that it's going to be the same way under a Biden administration.
I want people to understand that, for instance, let's use hard facts. The time it takes to decipher usable intelligence. You have come up with something, artificial intelligence and machine learning, that to me speaks for 21st century warfare.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. The fight of the future is all about taking information from sensors and getting it to a shooter, a soldier, a platform, an aircraft in almost real time. And in fact, that's exactly what we're doing. We own that full chain from the sensor to the image processing or the data processing to the dissemination through resilient systems, down to whatever weapon system that's going to take action and doing it in real time. It's joint all-domain command and control. That's sort of the buzzword coming out of the Department of Defense. It's how do you move faster to bring information from our very sophisticated ISR systems to some action happening, some effect. And the things that L3Harris brings are the systems that connect all of that and do it in real time.
Now, also, I mean, there's a line in one of your conference calls where you talk about, it's the Laguna conference call, where you talk about the satellite business being a business that can be worth billions?
Our satellite business is really fantastic. It's broad as space. So we do a lot in the classified space. We do a lot in non-classified areas. So GPS systems, every GPS system that's been launched to date, including one that was launched last week, has content from L3Harris on. We're very prominent on weather systems, the #1 provider of weather imaging systems to NOAA. But space is very, very exciting. It's a warfighting domain. It has become contested. It's being challenged. We have got large, exquisite systems that have become vulnerable. And the solution to that is disaggregation to drive resilience. So taking capabilities and spreading it out across a constellation, either through hosted payloads on commercial sats or small satellites. And we're a market leader on both of those areas. We see that to be a very strong growth opportunity for the company going forward.
I have to believe when you're dealing with that high precision, high tech, that it would really help you to have people who have served to be able to say, listen, what we really need on the ground is this kind of radio. What we really need on the ground is instant analysis. And you can't do that without having guys from the military.
No, that's exactly right. And we do hire quite a few veterans into the company. We have more than 7,000 veterans that work for L3Harris today. We've hired about 1,000 year to date. We have very rigorous onboarding programs. We have an employee resource group dedicated to veterans. That mission knowledge, that leadership, that discipline, that that sense of the mission and what's really required by the warfighter is so essential to what we do. We're so proud of the veterans we have. We thank them every single day, not just Wednesday, Veterans Day, but every day for their sacrifice to our country.
Now, Bill, on the financials, your company's generating a huge amount of cash. I mean, I really felt that at one point when I was listening, I said, can they make another acquisition? I mean, they can buy back, they can do anything, dividend raise. Your company is so undervalued, as you know, I think, given the fact that most companies are either thinking about keeping the dividend the same, boosting it only by a penny, or cutting it, and certainly don't have the money to make any acquisitions.
Well, I think acquisitions are a little bit on the horizon. We're not really looking at it today. We do generate quite a bit of free cash flow. We had a fantastic quarter with free cash flow up 18%, very strong so far year to date. We've raised our guidance for the year on free cash, and that's after significant investments inside the company in terms of R&D, capital spending, hiring of people, training of people. After all of that, we do generate quite a bit of free cash flow. So we're deploying that back to owners. So in the quarter, we bought back about $1.1 billion worth of stock, $1.85 billion year to date. We'll do more in the fourth quarter. And into next year, we'll see buybacks of about $2.2 billion, more or less. And on top of that, we're going to raise our dividend. We've raised our dividend 25% in the last 15 months since we closed the merger with L3, between L3 and Harris Corporation. And we see an opportunity to raise dividends even into next year.
Okay, good, because, I mean, you may not even be done rationalizing. You can still do more synergies. I just hope, I don't know your successor well, but I just hope that you're part of it, because I know that part of the deal was that you will step up to chairman in the middle of next year?
Yes, that's right. I'm chairman and CEO today, but in the middle of next year, I'll become exec chair. And Chris Kubasik, who was the CEO and chairman of L3 Technologies, will become the CEO. We've been working as partners, shoulder to shoulder, through the integration effort. You know, we've developed a strategy together. We've developed the portfolio shaping or the strategy to divest companies, divest businesses together. And he's going to take over middle of next year. And it's going to be a smooth handoff, and it's going to be fantastic. There's going to be no change in strategy as we get through next year.
Well, I mean, look, I look at all of the general dynamics of the Lockheed Martin, look at Raytheon. Yours the one that is by far the cheapest and is certainly in the right spot for a Biden administration. So, look, I wish you the best of luck. I'm glad you're staying on as executive chairman, because I think you're doing a terrific job. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, that's Bill Brown, chairman and CEO of L3Harris. Now, if you're saying, listen, I've missed all the move, everything's too high, blah, blah, blah. Well, you look at this company, a lot of cash generation, dividend boost, buyback. I don't have many that do that anymore. Mad Money's back after the break.